Welcome to another edition of Nikki B and Friends. What up, friends?
What's
going on, baby?
Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You gotta have a J-O-B if you wanna be with me. It's probably too young for y'all because it was too young.
I know
the song.
It was
like, oh, okay, I was gonna say I was a kid when that was a song.
Yeah.
So, what's been up this week? What's going on with you, Shannon?
What is going on? Oh, my kids' grandparents are in town, so I had a whole weekend to myself. I'm grateful.
That's good.
She came over and got Friday evening, and while I was upstairs, she slipped a Mickey on me. I came downstairs and I had an envelope on my counter in my kitchen, $1,000.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up.
Yeah, happy birthday. Thank you, Mom.
That's dope.
That is. Working hard. Now, who is that, your mom or is that his mom?
My kid's dad's mom.
Wow.
Yes, what's
up.
Yes. Shout out
them out.
Yes.
That's a good thing. You know how hard it is, so that means they appreciate how good you taking care of their kids.
Yeah. I'm appreciative of them too. I miss them so much, man.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have moved so far.
Yeah,
exactly. You see more people. I get so sick of that talking about what you miss and then move way out of town to get away from people. So go and say that.
Next.
What up, Coach?
It's all bad.
What's happening?
I wasn't even gonna tell y'all this, man.
It was all good just a week ago. Why?
All I'm gonna say is I got problems and I need $100, and I don't even know where I'm gonna find $100.
You done heard about Shannon money.
He think he split.
I'm about to rob a bank if I don't get this $100.
Nah, boo, you ain't gotta do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was waiting on. I don't know where I'm gonna find it. But,
right, yeah.
But it's been pretty straight. It was a pretty straight week. Got a lot of work done. It's pretty productive. So overall, it was a cool week. Got to finish it with my kids. That's always fun. So that's where I'm at. What about you, Nick?
Well, nothing much. Still acclimating to my new position, and that's going well. It was it rained like every day. It was freezing and raining here in Chicago last week. So
the ghetto.
Yeah, tell me about it because I did see somebody laying in the street. No, that ain't funny. I'm for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the hospital.
What's funny about poverty?
Right. Where the hospital is, it got it's a gang war going on. We were trying to figure out what was happening all of a sudden in this neighborhood, and we heard it's a gang war going on. So it's been like a lot of, and I got a really, really good friend that live there. I'm like,
because I was just getting ready to say, stay away from over there.
Yeah, but I want her. I'm like, they got a big old house over there, that she done raised her kids in, and then 3 of them gone. She got 1 left, I'm like, it's time for y'all to move. Mm-hmm. Because when your kid used to be able to walk to school, and now you got to put your kid in a private school and pay because it didn't change that much. It's time to get up out of there.
Yeah, facts.
So, before we get started on today's show, I am going to be posting a link on Nikki B and Friends Facebook page and on our Instagram, and I'm hoping as many people share it as possible because we do have it's called Family Christian Health Center. And they are an organization with different healthcare. It's a healthcare facility. So they treat walk-in, low-income patients with no insurance, patients poverty, low income. I'll put it that way. And so they have walk-in clinics. They have regular clinics. This is where a lot of people go for their OB care that couldn't go anywhere else. And so they will be doing GoFundMe, trying to raise some money for the charity bucket of that for the clinic. And so I know that I'll be donating, and I'm going to share it, and I'm asking that everybody donate. No, nothing too small. There's no such thing as something too small or something too big, because it'll just help out people. And this place is really great because it not only does health care, it does dental as well, and behavioral health, which I think is awesome that they're doing the behavioral health, because a lot of that isn't done for low income people. A lot of people that you see couldn't afford the drugs or the care and stuff like that. So I'm just asking that once I post it out there, if people could share it and, give to it and see what it's about, I would appreciate it. All right.
All right.
Y'all cool with that?
Got you.
All right. So today's topic is domestic violence, which is a really serious subject. I kind of did some research on domestic violence. So it became illegal for a wife beating in all states in 1920. However, it began to be a movement and people paying more attention to it in the 1970s, particularly when women's rights was being given, and then it was a focus brought on women being beaten by their husbands. So, in the 70s through the 80s, it was found that every 100 men who killed their wife, 75 women killed their husband.
Wow.
So I think that a lot of people, when they think of domestic violence, they always think of one way. And if it's 75 to that 100,
yeah,
the women, it's just as involved. And I think that a lot of times people don't even take domestic violence serious with men. And I think it's probably a lot of men out there that may be even getting beat, but too embarrassed to call. Because I done seen some clips before, somebody calling and, the cops be like, you couldn't handle her. Right. You couldn't handle her, something like that. And it'd be like, for real, like this is like a serious thing. And so, so everybody knows somebody or has been through a domestic violence situation.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think enough people get involved. It's just Nikki thinking, my personal opinion. I don't think enough people get involved when they know that it's happening. And I don't think that sometimes people don't want you to get involved.
That's real. I think that's the biggest thing. I think is that, like I noticed, almost like you can almost relate to when people say, I ain't got people there for me, where I don't think that's so much of a thing is people just not utilizing the people in their life.
One.
Yeah, because it's like, if you just utilize the people that's in your life to help you, then it's probably a lot more situations that you can get through, including a domestic situation.
I would agree with that. Because everybody need a good support system. And then it's always sad when people are too embarrassed, I think, to tell people that they care about because they're scared they're going to be judged.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
But no, or I think what's unfortunate is when domestic situations do happen and the family know and don't do nothing. Where like you'll see like a female get jumped on by her boyfriend she got brothers and a dad and cousins and stuff. They know, and they be like, well, she gonna stay with him, so I'm not gonna do nothing. And now, if she's seeing the men in her life ain't gonna come to her aid, what is her next step? Because she's like, okay, if I'm with them, they ain't gonna help me out. And it's like, even if somebody beating on her, they should at least be like, yeah, even if you stay with him, he gonna know moving forward, this ain't the thing. We gonna make sure we handle this, so he gonna know next time he put his hands on you
that's not it.
Yeah, that what's to be expected next, because we show
exactly.
him.
Yeah, it should definitely be consequences. I know somebody who was in a situation and continued to be in a situation even after the fact. But I will tell you that the guy who did it still walks around with a limp from when her brothers whooped that tail, knocked on the door, and beat the brakes off of him. She still stayed with him a little bit longer after that, but he still walk around with a limp because he after he did it, he would be, he knew what was coming because, and that's how people should be. They should know that it's some people who care enough that there's going to be some consequences. So that should even scare some people.
I remember one of my friends was in that, and I had told her in the beginning, like, listen, I don't care what you do with this dude. I understand you're not ready to leave him. Just don't put me in a situation when I'm with you that you get into it with him. Don't do that to me as your friend, as your family. Don't do that to me. If you're gonna have this situation when we together, don't call him. It's just me and you. When you go home or whatever, do your thing. So I had said that like a couple times. And this one particular situation, she was like, hey, can you run me such and such place? And I was like, okay. So when we got there, sure as crap, here he come. You know what I'm saying? And he like, hey, she not leaving. I'm like, yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's leaving with me today. And so, I'm going back and forth with him. Then his mama jump in it. And I'm like, hey, listen.
His mama knew what was going on?
Mama knew.
Yeah.
His sister knew. Everybody knew, and she just would not leave. And I kept telling her, I've had my own experiences. So I was telling her, like, listen, this is what's getting ready to happen. Either this is going to get like worse and you're going to eventually leave, or he's going to hurt you. And me being in your life, I can't stand by and watch that happen. So I'm just telling you, if you don't want a situation between me and him, keep that away from me when I'm with you. And lo and behold, I got into it with his mom. She yelling and screaming. I told dude, I'll beat your ass and your mama ass. What's up? Because she leaving with me today. You know what I'm saying? So it ended up that, him and me was just going back and forth. He slammed the door in my face because he saw that, listen, I'm ready. You don't scare me. You scare her.
Right. Yeah. So, and usually they pretty scary too. That be the thing about it is when you approach them, they actually be pretty scary.
Hey, you want to square up with somebody, the person that's ready to go to battle with you, you don't want to fight them. And I'm a whole woman, just like her. So what's the difference? Maybe because I stand a few feet taller than she is? That's if you a bad nigga like you say you is, that will matter to you, right? So I didn't, because I had my baby with me, and that's another reason why I was really upset at her for that. Because I got the baby with us. So I went and I called one of her close family members. I was like, listen, I don't know if you know what's going on, but this is what's up. And I'm getting ready to call the police, but I just thought you should know.
So was she mad about you calling a family member and stuff?
We didn't speak for months because she was mad because I called her family.
That's deep.
I still love her though. We cool. I feel like we probably ain't as cool since that, but she was mad at me for a long time. She was mad at me for a long time. But I mean, I'm somebody significant in your life. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna stand by and watch you get hurt. You be mad all you want to, but at the end of the day, I was trying to help you. So if you feel like me helping you and calling somebody that can help us both or help you, be mad. Be mad.
Right, because you could have said,
at the end of the day, I got your back. I would never let nothing happen to you. And you with me? Never let right. You won't tell nobody that I was with you and I ain't do nothing.
Right.
I'm about to fight him and his mama.
I still can't believe that the mom was.
Oh yeah, she was like, I'm so sick of this between them two. That's all they do is fight, and you need to get out of here. I said, ma'am, this your son? You ought to be ashamed of yourself that he got my homegirl sitting up in here behind a dang on table screaming and yelling, and you're sitting right here. Shame on you.
Wow.
It just show you the environment he was raised in. Because I've seen that plenty of times too, where like the family was condoning it, where it's like, okay, they ignorant, you know, so I shouldn't even expect him to know better.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, it's going down, but
and like his sister walked right out the house past me while I was arguing with them and went on and went to work like it was no. Yeah. I was like, wow.
Just that.
I've seen that too.
Just that environment. I know, like on you know, the movie The Burning Bed. It was like,
what is that?
It's a old movie that's actually a true story, and it was a woman who was being beaten by her husband, and his whole family knew about it, and she eventually ended up waiting till he went to sleep, put some gasoline around the bed, and burned the house up, and took her kids and left. And I'm going to look it up while we're on the phone, but I think that she got off because they could prove how he had beat her and that she was, you know, scared because he was always threatening her and stuff like that. But then just think about like a Tina Turner story, like her mom knowing and sending her back. You know what I mean?
That was like a generational thing.
It was.
Her mama was beat up by her dad too. Remember at the beginning of the movie, they was fighting and she left Tina with her grandmother, but she took the oldest daughter.
Right.
And she was coming out the house like, I'm not gonna let him beat me no more.
Oh, I'm gonna have to pay attention because I don't think I ever picked up on that part.
You remember the house being all messed up and stuff when she went back in there? Because her daddy had just finished beating her tail.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So do we, so when we think of domestic violence, what do we consider domestic violence? I mean, I could go in there and get the definition, but is slapping somebody domestic violence?
Anytime we in a relationship and we have a disagreement for whatever reason, you feel like the only way that we can solve this is for you to hit me.
Yeah, I think that's just that. It's just violence in the relationship, physical violence in a relationship.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that somebody could hit somebody one time and then not do it again? You know, that apology, I slipped, I didn't mean for that to happen, that'll never happen again, which they show that all the time, that people say that and may do it again. But do you think I had a domestic relationship, domestic violence relationship I was in. And I had heard about him like hitting other chicks before. But anytime I would ask him about it, of course, he was like, no, I ain't never hit nobody. You know, I don't know where you got that from. Okay. But I would pay attention to like his apartment, like when I would go over there, and like I would see like how he would conduct himself with his baby mom. And she was about to say blood on the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say hair on the floor, but she looked so serious. I didn't want to jump in. That's why hair on the floor.
Yeah, like what? It was a hole in the wall. It was blood on the wall.
Right here today.
Right. I'm like, our eyes got big. Like, what you see?
You see? Yeah, that's what
there was a hole in the wall, and I asked him. I said, you know, like where'd that come from? And he was like, oh, somebody didn't know how to act, so I had to put their head through the wall.
And you stayed.
18, but
exactly, you too young. That's too young. Well, was he 18 too?
He was 22.
Oh, you being grown. Okay, keep going.
It's just right. Thinking grown. I know something and I don't. So I remember one day
or thinking that you're the exception, or that. What I found is some people would think that like it's a one-time thing. You know what I mean? Like even if he did do that to her, he won't do that to me. Like right. I personally know somebody who the female always ends up in an abusive relationship. I know a guy that she finally got with who has never been in an abusive relationship. And then all of a sudden, when they get together, they were fighting all the time. So it was kind of like, is this what she like? Because now
she's growing used.
Did she bring this out of him? Because I hadn't seen him ever, had never heard. I know him. Like that wasn't his character. And I said to him, if she's taking you out of character like this, we know for a fact that everybody she meets jumps on her.
Well, they say a lot of times that if you have experienced that so much, you kind of feel like, well, maybe he don't love me if he don't beat me. So maybe that's what, you'd be so shell shocked by that. And it kind of messes up your thinking like, dang, he ain't hitting me. We ain't, you become accustomed to that. So if this guy isn't doing it, does he love me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get it. Yeah, no, that's real. Some people just need that emotional attachment. Like they need to see that you connected to them emotionally, so they might do certain things.
Because a lot of times, if you can't bring emotions out of a person, you do feel like, maybe they don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Probably like the Michelle A thing when she said when Dr. Dre first fought her, and she was saying he was crying. You know what I mean? Like he was crying, and my grandmother always said that if he loved you. So I think that it almost goes probably. I mean, we're making it one-sided, it almost, but it almost like probably what you've grown up with and what people have told you, because it's like one of the things that I can't stand. I hate to hear somebody say, "All men cheat to their daughter."
Yeah, no.
So basically, they just saying to her, "You gonna meet somebody who gonna cheat." So therefore, when he cheat, she think everybody do this because my mama and grandmama already told me that. So I think it may be kind of the same thing with the domestic thing. All men, like Miss Chalet, grandmother was saying, men hands move faster than their brain or something, like they not thinking. And I mean, he beating the mess out of you, and your grandmother know it, and she don't say come. Lead, like nobody was ever saying leave me. And then like what guys, I guess I don't know, Coach, you can add to this, because like that whole thing makes me look at guys a different way. Like as a guy and you seeing another guy jump on his girl, I just wouldn't even want to see that. Like y'all take that mess up out of here, or come here, dude, and you should leave or whatever to the girl, let him calm down and y'all do whatever. But
in the Michelet movie, didn't one of them call and was like, "Hey, Dre on his way," and he drunk. So
yeah, easy.
Yeah, for myself, like I've been around like a dude, like maybe multiple, maybe one or two, where like they was trying to get physical with that girl, and I had to like step in and be like, "Nah, like we ain't about to do this up in here." One is just ain't good for the female, and then I'm thinking for him too. Like you don't want to go to jail. Like as crazy as you may want to claim you are, you don't want to go to jail, man. Don't even throw your life away over this, because it ain't too much worth the physical part of a relationship. I would say, like, unless you feel that you're in danger, where it's like if I don't do something, I'm going to get hurt. I think there is no reason to even get involved into that.
Right. The caveat to all that is, though, women do it too. Women do it too. I've seen females jump up and put their fingers all in a dude's face and cussing and calling them all out his name and carrying on. And it's like, man, who did not teach you? Like, I remember one of the things that my mama always taught me and my sister is that just because a man don't hit women don't mean he like to be hit. And don't be the first woman that he hit. Keep your hands to yourself, because he will body you. Yeah. He will floor you. Right.
You never know who you hitting. They could be the sweetest person in the world, but you slap the mess out of them. It may be a knee-jerk reaction of, you getting hit back.
Right. And ironically, every instance that I've ever seen, it always be like, she 5'2" and he's 6'3". She jumping all up in this girl. Sit down. Sit down. He does not want to hurt you. That's why he hasn't choke slammed you yet. Stop it.
Yeah, I know a female who poured some hot water on a dude while he was asleep.
Oh my God.
And then he ended up maybe burned him with the iron. She might have poured water too at one time. But anyway, and he jumped up and swung on her, and then she was like, "Oh, you gonna hit a girl in this?"
They think when people think like that, man. Because and the thing is like, ain't nobody trying to hear, man, she lost it, y'all. Like, don't do that, because as soon as you do anything, you going to jail. You're going to jail. Even if you don't go to jail, nobody is trying to hear, y'all wasn't there. She was really on a tear. Like, nobody is trying to hear that. Well, you should have walked away. Like, that's what it all comes down to for you. Because the thing is, a female really, at the end of the day, ain't going to go to jail for swinging on no dude.
I got a question for you.
Well, I think more now. Yeah. Like the girl went with Bow Wow. They locked both of them up.
Exactly. Both. They ain't just saying, oh, I'm sorry, brother. Sorry you got yourself in this situation.
Right.
Yeah, because I still remember one time I went to jail, right? My license was suspended. I could keep it real because we family. Right? Mm-hmm. I was in jail. And so a dude went in there for domestic. And he in there, he was like, yeah, man, because they arrested me. Her nose was bleeding. So we say, what happened? So we say she ran at me because I'm going through a divorce. She ran at me charging, and I just put my hand like this. And we was like, you told the police that? Yeah, I told them I just threw my arm up. I said, man, you ain't being this. We all was like, no, I just told them I was defending myself. I said, you never say you was just defending yourself. I said, you wasn't thinking. He just like everybody in that cell, because it was a holding cell. So it's like 4 or 5 of us. We all just like, dog, why did you say that? And he was like, I ain't do nothing to be like, man, like her nose bleeding. You didn't do your arm up. Nah, man, you didn't lost it.
Mm-hmm. So I had a question for y'all though. Mm-hmm. So we all have sons, and back in the day we used to be, boys were taught, you don't put your hands on a girl, you don't hit a girl, blah, 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 blah. But because, moms ain't moms like they used to be, daughters are even acting more and more out of character. Do you still teach your sons not to hit girls, or do you teach them, like, if she hit you, hit her back, just because of what's happening now?
I'm telling my son to hit her back because I want my son to protect himself. So I'm telling him for his own safety and health. If anybody is hitting you, you need to hit them back.
Okay. I know, Nick, you got a younger son. Do you teach him the same thing?
You know what? I think that I did try that. Don't hit girls back. I know my youngest son, he just wouldn't, his personality. I know he didn't have an incident where a girl did hit him a few times and he walked away, because that's just who he is. He's not gonna hit no girl. You know what I mean? But I think that parents do need to, like I say, educate their daughters, because when that incident happened, I ended up having a talk with parents or whatever, and saying, you need to teach her, because she met a good one who was taught and wouldn't do that because of his personality. He not gonna hit her back, but she may run into the wrong person, or it's a consequence that it could be me. Like, you're not gonna be hitting on my child. So yeah, don't know. I think I would say most people wouldn't want their child out there just dusting down and jumping on a girl. But now when you watching these videos and you seeing these girls, like these girls are out of hand in high school. They jumping up. Like, I watched a video, this girl punched, slapped, and everything. This boy probably about 10 times. He's trying to walk away. The whole school is outside doing different things. She is just, making a scene, hitting him all in the back of his head while he's trying to leave. And I'm just like, wow. Finally, he turns around, hit her one time. She was like, I can't believe you hit me. Here come the whole football team. What you doing hitting the girl? And I'm thinking, why didn't nobody stop this girl from hitting this young man?
No, I see those videos a lot where it's just somebody just recording a dude getting hit, and it seemed like it'd almost be the dude friends be there too. Be like, man, don't hit her, all this. Like, no, anybody walking up to me, hitting me, they getting hit back. Whoever holding that camera, they getting swung on too. Like, we're not about to do that, period. Like, because now you're endangering me at this point. It's one thing to have your
friend. Like, you're threatening me.
It'll be one thing even if you push me. But when you just welling off on me, you're trying to hurt me.
Oh, yeah, she was hitting this boy with everything in her. And he was trying his best to get away. And I think that some of the time that's another thing that happened is you are here, the guy trying to leave, but the female won't let him leave. She didn't block the door and all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, if somebody going trying to cool off, let them go on and cool off.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with the both of you. I started out, my son, mind you, my son is just 13. He's still a pretty young guy. Yeah. And I started off like,
but that's the age when these girls really acting a fool on these videos that I've been seeing.
Exactly. And that's what I was gonna say. Like, I started off teaching him, nope, we don't hit girls. That's not how we raising you. You gotta be, But now I've seen, and he's had 2 incidents already, and he just 13. And I have let people know, like, you hit him, he beating your ass. And I'm not gonna say nothing else about it. I've let, when he had his incident, I let the principal know, like, listen, he's innocent here. He was doing his thing. She came over here and she attacked him. So I feel like if she don't want to be floored, she need to keep her hands to herself. And then you call me, he might be suspended. That's fine. Gather up his work. I'll take him home. But if she hit him again, he gonna do the same thing.
And she need to be kicked out too. I hope she was expelled too.
Yes. She was kicked out for that, and she had done some other stuff that got her kicked out. But this little girl had even a track record of doing stuff to other people. So I'm just trying to figure out why no dire consequences had already been served. I don't know, but yeah, I teach my son to hit back.
And see, now some people, because I've had this, I can't even remember what case was happening, but I remember us having this whole talk at work about it. And, some people were still adamant because it wasn't their son. You know what I mean? Because everybody will say what they think should happen until it happened to their child or whatever. But they was under no circumstances should a boy ever hit a girl. And I'm like, the way that girl was attacking him, like you didn't think that he needed to defend himself. They are standing in front of your car. They on top of your car. They busting out your windows, showing up at your parents' house and cussing out everybody and
got you fired from your job, all kind of stupid stuff.
And then, I think that that it needs to be more education out there, because the girl who in the classroom when the boy finally whooped her tail, she was like, I'm telling my brother. Well, if your brother, somebody need to teach you not to be hitting on, you may meet the wrong one. So then this brings me to, and this ain't nothing about no homophobia, none of that. Somebody was explaining to me that because I'm like, why is he fighting this girl like this ain't nothing? Because he out there in the street, they argue. And they were saying to me that gay guys, because they think they can fight girls.
I've seen that.
No.
I've seen that I've seen that as well, where I see somebody a part of that lifestyle where they'll fight a girl like she anybody else. But I don't know, this makes things tricky. Just because like some of them don't even consider themselves men. You know,
right?
like
That's what they were saying to me, since they think that they think that the girl, they figure that they can come. And he went up on that big old girl, man, and got the tight jeans beat off of him.
That's good. I'm glad I went that way.
So he had on some tight little jeans, man. That girl wore his tail out. But I'm just like, why is he out here like, I mean, he was arguing like it was a girl on girl thing. And I guess maybe because he wanted, you know, I don't know, want to be a girl. So he figuring that they even or whatever. So so let's pose a question. If you out, okay, you go to Walmart. You come out of Walmart. It's a couple in the parking lot fighting. Are you getting involved, or are you just gonna call the police, or what are you?
Well, what is the situation exactly?
They putting hands on each other, a guy and a girl. You could tell that that's a girlfriend because somebody hollering about somebody cheating and stuff like that.
So is it a mutual thing, or is it like one person is
like, is he whooping her butt, or are they fighting like back and forth?
Fighting like back and forth.
I probably won't. If it's more of a mutual thing. Yeah, if it's mutual.
Y'all acting out. I don't got time.
Yeah, y'all do this at this point.
All the time, apparently.
Yeah, if y'all at Walmart, yeah, y'all do this. I'm out.
But
so if he's stomping her out, then
we ain't about to do that. We ain't even about to do that.
Okay. Then y'all breaking it up and all of that stuff. Yeah, I remember posing the question because you know that I asked the question on Facebook, and I had posed the question one time about somebody had sent me the question because they had got into a fight on what they said was a busy street. I can't tell you what street, but they called it a busy street. The guy had pulled over, dragging a girl out the car, and she felt as if nobody came to her aid and helped her. So then I asked the question, you know, on Facebook about if you heard a couple outside of your home fighting, or a girl runs up to your door, somebody fighting her, you know, would you get involved? And most people said that they wouldn't get involved. Some of them said they wouldn't open. Most of them said they wouldn't open up the door for sure. They would call the police. But some people said they wouldn't even get involved.
I think that if she was getting like jumped or somebody was about to beat her, I probably would open the door for her. Just me being who I am. Right. I would open the door for her and let her in and then close my door. Now you come to my door and you banging all on now you got a problem with me.
Right. So you opening up the door, but see what their point was, which is a point. You opening up the door for her, he chasing behind her. Here he come. Now they in your house.
Not they. In mine.
What if he got a knife and a gun?
I'ma just say this. I've never, and I don't want to sound like gloating or nothing. I've never been afraid of anybody. You got skin and bones like I do.
Right there, be right there. That was
you
my
got skin and bones like I do. And before you even catch her, I'm gonna pull her in the house and shut the door in your face. Now this ain't got nothing to do about you having weapons because now you're on my territory. You don't know what's in here. So bring it on.
What you got?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Just know it's heavy. And it's 9 millimeters long.
You done brought this mess to my house and I don't even know you. So now I'm about to put some real hot stuff in your chest or wherever.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to let the police know that you came to my house with this.
Then the girl going to be mad at you.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You came up on my doorstep.
Because like Coach, you was saying about the jumping on, like, and then you have to think about how many people you know who have been in a situation, other people get involved, jump on the guy, and then the female mad.
The thing is, that's a small price to pay. You know, like, you could be mad at me. I get it. You care about this person. We just did them greasy. That's cool. The thing is, you don't even have to talk to me for a minute because I didn't do it for that. I did it so that he knows
that this is not acceptable.
This ain't acceptable, and you got people here for you. Because I know dudes who will do a female like that just because he know.
Ain't nobody checking for her.
She ain't got nobody. Like, I done heard a dude say, man, yeah, I hear her, man. Her cousins ain't gonna fight for her. Like, I didn't heard stuff like that. Like, I didn't have to get involved in situations where somebody telling me, man, he popped up at my crib, man. He know I just me and the kids here. It's like, man, send me that number. And I had to call and address the situation to him. Like, you ain't about to just be popping up over here. And they take it well. You know, the couple times I done had to do it. Like, you don't even know. Like, I don't need to know. I don't even need to know the full details or whatever you're trying to make it to me. I'm just letting you know this ain't about to be a thing because you making her feel unsafe and she got the kids there and we just ain't even about to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what some people need is to know that there's consequences to your action, either way it go. So apparently you're not scared of jail or just think that she's not going to call the police. Or I've seen, and I think that that's probably why, you know, the law changed where, you know, they'll call the police, then all of a sudden they want to, I want to not change, press charges. And then the police say, well, you won't have a chance,
choice.
No say so. We picking up this case, you know, because there was so many people probably changing their minds.
Yeah.
And I think if you do change your mind, they'd be like, well, if you don't press charges, we taking you to jail because what did you call? What waste our time for?
Mm-hmm. So then you just wonder, you know, it's just always deeper issues of why somebody would stay in a relationship that long. You know, I know somebody who used to, everybody in the city knew that this person was getting their behind beat all over. It was just all over, everybody knew. And it was like she almost thought it was cute and was okay with it. You know what I mean? She didn't have no problems going to get her nail fixed and saying, because she got jumped on and all of that type of stuff. Like, why you want to be seen with a black eye and stuff all the time, unless that's just somebody who, but then is it situational? Will people let somebody that's not taking care of them and broke beat them, but not, you know, and leave them versus somebody taking care of them? No, is it some people just there to, you know, because they take care of me, so.
You know, because I know people that take care of people that be beating on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I didn't see people be with a dude who was taking care of them, and in those it make a little more sense just because like it's almost a business decision where I'm about to just stay with him because I got a lifestyle that I wouldn't otherwise have, and then I know a chick who's paying for everything, dude, staying with,
yeah, still getting her baby,
and still getting hit upside her head a couple times.
And see, to me, if you in it and like in it for the money, then you really just trash, and they really don't care. No, you just getting jumped on because they know what you about.
Know that.
So they don't have no respect for you. So that's why you can't even say hi or smile at somebody without getting slapped in your face in front of everybody. And you okay with it, and you'll move on to that's why you'll see somebody who everybody they get, you know, they may be in a nice financial situation, but treat them like crap. And then at what point, so is domestic violence just a hitting and then verbal abuse is just talking crazy and down and you're making you feel bad about yourself.
Abuse.
Yeah, exactly. I think it
abuse
all
is
comes down
abuse.
to everything.
And anytime it makes you feel inadequate or less than a person, it's abuse. Verbal, emotional, mental, physical, it's abuse.
Well, I know my mouth can be terrible, so that's why, I had to ask that question because my comebacks, like, I know my mouth is terrible,
comebacks,
but
the argument isn't like such a domestic violence situation. But if every time you walk through that door, Fat B, where you been? like that's when it's like, okay, you're abusive. Where
okay,
you trying to I know I didn't been around some characters in my life. Like I know a chick tried to call herself losing some weight, and it was pushed back. Like, and that should be a sign, ladies. Like if you're trying to better yourself and your partner is like not encouraging that, that's abuse. Like he's trying to keep you low for a reason. Like it was like, what are you trying to lose weight for? Is it just for vanity, or are you really trying to be healthy? And he's like, I just want to feel good about myself. I want to feel healthy. No, I ain't with that.
No matter what you do, you still gonna look like that with your ugly A. Don't nobody want you but me.
No, but I think a big problem that I don't think we really touched on too much is the way people was raised as well, especially in these times where
what we've seen
a lot more single parents, where pretty much women are raising boys and girls a lot on their own. And a big problem with women raising sons is that women look at men to be very barbaric, whether they acknowledge it or not. Especially when you have to raise a son, a lot of women only take that as, well, I know he got to be tough. Like I know he can't be soft out here. You know what I'm saying? And under that mindset, like I didn't see plenty, especially younger parents, where the boy will be crying, "Oh, this hurt, man, toughen up. No, you can't be doing that." And it's like,
let that boy cry.
Yeah, because now he learning very early. Okay, I have to suppress emotions, and I have to be tough at all times.
So you can't take it no more, and it's coming out on somebody's daughter.
Exactly, and now he don't know how to talk his way through situations. He don't even know how to explain himself. So that's why his natural reaction is anything that get too tricky, I'm swinging because I don't know nothing else, and they don't even understand how to even handle feeling vulnerable.
Well, that's a good observation.
Yeah, because anything else is just too suppressed for him. Where it's like, no, like if I'm being vulnerable, I'm being weak. And I was raised, I can't be weak. I got to be tough.
Yeah. I don't think I ever did that with my boys about don't be crying.
Yeah, no, I think that was a thing between my mom and dad. Like my dad would, oh, he got to be tough. And, my mom was like, no, if it hurt, let him cry.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I do remember like if people cried, if boys cried, if we was doing something, as kids, we would be laughing. You know what I mean? As other kids laughing, like, so yeah. So then that's how they got into that habit of, maybe I shouldn't be, crying.
All the time, man. You got feelings like anybody else. If it hurts and you feel like the only way to get this monkey off your back is to let it out in tears, let it out. You will feel much better.
That's good, though.
Yeah, it's good if you think that way.
Yeah, and telling them that, because I think that, boys do feel like that. They definitely don't want to cry in front of other boys.
Now you got to think like the most toughest people who you would probably say, especially a dude where he just think he just the baddest one.
Carrying around a lot of hurt.
Yeah, more than likely he was probably raised by his mom, because you got to think like most dudes who have like an active father in their life, they don't feel the need to act super tough like that. Like they're more normal because they know it's okay compared to being raised around just a lot of women and the way most women view men. Like I even know somebody that's grown, she older than me, and she was like, well, men don't care about breakups. Like they just taking it, like they don't have care because men don't have emotions. And it's like, okay, you still think like this. And it just showed like her view, like, okay, this is your experience with men up to this point in your life. Well, you feel they emotionless people. And I think a lot of women view men that way. So if you view men that way, raising a son, you're naturally going to think that he actually has to be this way.
I think guys show their emotions different. But I feel like in any way, if you need to get it out, you need to get it out.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that too. Now you can't have it bottled in because especially these days, black men go through so much anyway, just every day. Like life is just stressful anyway. It seemed like it was just, with the police and all of that type of stuff. And
I
like,
think
if you got a baby mama, and I say baby mamas is different from mothers, but dealing with a baby mama, that mess will drive you crazy just hearing some of the stories. Because there's some crazy females out here that's just using the kids.
Yeah.
It's like they've never been able to control something before. So they look at that as this the one thing to control. And like some people think that like you're supposed to have problems when you're not with the guy no more. They don't even look at it like this is silly. We don't even have like, why wouldn't we be like we co-parent good? You're supposed to want to co-parent good. Shouldn't be no problems.
No.
But people don't even believe in that, and their family will be the main ones egging the silly mess on. So, but domestic violence, they got groups, a lot of numbers that people can call, to be seen. I know from when I worked at in the front end of medical, it was a code that people could come in and you could use this code. It was anonymous code to say that it was a domestic violence situation. So, but yeah, it's just interesting. And yes, the lady didn't get any time for the burning bed because I did look that up. She did get not guilty, and it was in 1977 when she did that. And it was in Danesville, Michigan. I wonder how far is that from you guys? But yeah, because everybody could testify of that, he beat her he beat her just because she was trying to go back to school.
Yeah, but
the kids knew it, and I remember the kids having to testify. Her kid.
Yeah, but you sound like you encouraging people to do it though. Like you was like, yeah, y'all. So she did get off. Just want you to know, lady. Yeah, she did get off. Representing Michigan. Yeah, she right up out of Michigan. She did get off. If you get enough people to say, girl, that she was doing that to you. Yeah, so go ahead, ladies. Use that promo code on the oil.
Right. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is the truth that she did not have to go to jail, but she was in 13 years of being physically abused. Yeah. I mean, the movie itself is sad and will make, I think, most people cry, like, because it was a sport for him. Jumping on her was just really a sport for him. It wasn't nothing she could do, nothing, that would do it. She could just come in, and then the kids was running and hiding. And I think that's when people really need to pay attention. When you got some kids in the house and that's happening, that's some serious stuff. I don't care if he calling you dumb bees or whatever. You got daughters who looking at that, sons who looking at that. If you don't want them acting like that, don't you act like that. And that, domestic violence can get even worse. A lot of people end up getting killed. I know a guy, he was jumping on a girl out of the D, jumping on her, and he was just a real disrespectful guy. Like, I remember one time her having to do some sexual stuff in the middle of the club in front of everybody because he told her to. You know what I mean? He was that type of disrespectful, and she was, doing everything that he told her to do for the money. She was all about the money. And finally he tried to kill her and ended up leaving her on the side of the highway, and luckily somebody found her. And so she ended up surviving, but just was like never the same, like, some head trauma.
Yeah.
So, money definitely ain't worth no ass whooping.
Nothing is. Nothing is worth standing for.
Mm-mm. No, you got to think of you an exit plan, go to school, do something. But you will find people who, and even if he not beating on you, if you in the house and he ain't speaking to you, and you better clean up my house, and you keeping the house clean, and he paying the bills, and you think you doing something, girl, that's his house. When he get ready to, he'll put you out. That's still a type of abuse. Also, you could look like you living the good life.
Exactly. So get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So that way, even if
Stop there. I'm gonna stop at that right there, everybody. So,
Thank you.
um,
Coach, I swear.
so you said you had a domestic violence. Oh yeah, we do have a domestic violence number for people to call, and it's my number is a 773. It's a 1-800 number. 1-800-799-7233 is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. You can call and talk to an advocate. You can get your questions answered if you're not sure if you're in a domestic violence relationship, and get you some help. It's a lot of them homes, that'll hide you for a while. But domestic violence is a serious thing, and if you in it, please get out before you get hurt. And I don't know about when I asked, if we cleared it up, like, do we think that people could stop? Because, you'll hear people say, I'm so sorry, about that one time. So I say,
I think it's situational.
Right. If you give them a pass one time, but they do it again, then they'll do it again. So how many one more times do they get? I say it that way. That's just my thought. But time to do our closing arguments. So whichever one of you want to go first.
I'll go. Keep it positive. Keep your hands to yourself. But one thing I want to say that I wish people would stop doing is people need to stop saying, I want the relationship like our grandparents, our great grandparents. Stop saying that, especially like 50s and 60s. They had unrealistic standards for women, and most of these women was getting beat on and cheated on. You do not want a relationship like those older relationships. They weren't good relationships, and women weren't even able to be empowered at that time. So, yeah, your grandma and grandpa took nice pictures and played nice in front of y'all, but he probably had a family on the other side of town, too. I'm going to leave it at that.
Dang.
I agree with Coach.
Grandpa?
For real, man.
Because you got to think about it. Back then, Papa really was a Rolling Stone. And you just never really knew. And who was going to find out? So you wonder why you got all these brothers and sisters everywhere. Because not only did he have you, but he had another family with Miss Shirley around the corner or down the street or across town or whatever.
She ain't have a Facebook at the time. Or a fake texting app.
So she couldn't come as a woman, you know what I'm saying? Because she ain't know.
Yeah, because one of the saddest ones I have, and that is a crybaby male, is Terrell Owens. How he lived right up, he cried at the drop of the dime, and his daddy lived right across the street from him, and his mom had an affair, and then he only found out that was his daddy because he liked his sister, because she was across the street, and then the daddy come up to him and say, you can't talk to her, I'm your daddy, and that was it, and went back home to his wife and never was involved in his life. That's some deep stuff.
That's trauma, right there.
Yeah, that is trauma. That's why he needed that attention that he needed when he was playing the game. So my thing is just, my final words is, domestic violence, whether you're male or female, males, if women are slapping you, hitting you, whether you came home late and they feel like they could hit on you and attack you, you're in a domestic violence relationship as well. So don't think that it's just a man because he's stronger. and you need to get you some help too and get out of relationships like that. You should never be in a relationship where you scared about what they mood gonna be because they
Love ain't
too
scary.
moody. You said what?
I said love ain't scary.
Right. You should never be in there like, oh man, what's she gonna be? How's she gonna be tripping today? And you should never be, well, I hope he in a good mood when I get home. That's not a good look at
Now, this is
all.
not to say that you be coming up in her crib at 4, 5 in the morning and y'all done had this conversation about being respectful. That's different. Okay? It's different. But yeah, you should never have to walk on eggshells with anybody.
Exactly. Not trying to figure out their day and know if you're going to get hit and should I say this and biting your tongue. You should be able to be yourself, and people should be able to keep their hands on themselves.
Now,
Yeah.
hold on. I want to give a disclaimer. Now, if she sends you a screenshot before you come home, you might want to come in a little later and your head hurt. Start with that. Say my head hurts. So whatever you about to say, just go ahead and say it. So I can go on about my day because I'm tired.
But if she putting her hands on you, it's domestic violence too.
It's domestic violence.
And guys, keep your hands to yourself. You wouldn't want nobody whooping on your daughters like that.
Facts.
That's the other thing I can't stand is somebody who known for whooping somebody's tail, but don't want nobody to touch their child. Then keep your hands to yourself. And maybe won't nobody touch your child. Yeah, so, they say you reap what you sow. So, again, the number for the National Domestic Violence hotline to get any help and talk to an advocate is 1-800-799-7233. You could also visit their website, which is thehotline.org. And they do, they'll chat. You can chat with an advocate on there as well. So again, listen to Nikki. Please follow the Facebook page, Nikki B and Friends on Facebook and on Instagram, Nikki NIKKIB _and_friends. And I'll make sure that we post the domestic violence number on our page. And also when that GoFundMe comes to help out the Family Christian Health Center, that information will be posted up as well. Thank you all and continue to rock out with us. And thank you for listening and peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.